Hi and welcome. Thanks for being here today. I'm really excited to be sharing Elaine with you. Elaine, I've been working with her for almost a year now, personally, and she is really fabulous. And because she's so fabulous, she's now one of our experts on Global Healing Exchange. Um, she's going to be talking to us about how to get rid of our blocks to bringing in money and abundance into our life. So I know that you're going to go further into that, Elaine. So I'm just going to pass this over to you now so we can get on with the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sharon. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on healing your money story. I am just so honored and thrilled to be here, thanks to Sharon and the Global Healing Exchange community. I like to start these things off by sharing my intentions, so I want to share with you that my intention for our webinar today is to introduce you to the ease process when it comes to your money. How you feel about money, your emotions around money, is the determining factor in whether you are attracting or repelling money. So if you are truly ready to change your money story and start attracting money instead of repelling it, then you are in the right place. So, who am I? Oh, that's such a wonderful picture of me. My name is Elaine Torrance-Gingrich, as Sharon has stated, and I am a certified Law of Attraction life coach and a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I am the founder of Avalonian Moon, a company devoted to guiding smart, fun, sensitive, spirit-driven women who struggle with confidence, frustration, procrastination, stress, and overwhelm to view their world through the lens of laughter and possibilities. My journey began, I guess, with the passing of my husband in 2003. This major life event spawned a spiritual journey that led me to many courses of study, including studying the law of attraction. As I studied the teachings of Joe Vitale, Louise Hay, Marcy Shimoff, Wayne Dyer, Mike Dooley, Marianne Williamson, Bob Proctor, and Abraham, as channeled by Esther Hicks, I felt a resonance with the material that I had never felt before. It just made so much sense to me at such a deep level. I always knew life was not supposed to be so hard. I came to understand that life just doesn't happen to me. I am the creator of my own experience, and to me, that was really, truly liberating. And yet, even with all of this newfound knowledge, I still struggled around money. Because, you see, I had this kind of love-hate relationship with my money. When I was married to Brad, I was the one who was in charge of the finances, because as I've said before, my husband, money would kind of burn a hole in his pocket, so I had to be the responsible one. And when he passed, I was still in charge, and I was still the responsible one, and it was not a feel-good relationship at all. What I really wanted was to not have to look at or even worry about money. I was tired of always being the one who had to say, no, we can't afford that. And the real shift for me, I guess, began a few years ago when the mentor that I am currently with right now said to me to think of money as your lover. Would your lover want to hang around you if you weren't paying any loving attention to him? Wow. I thought to myself, that was just really huge. It was a realization that hit me upside the head like a 2x4. And it made me really begin to look at my emotions around money. Awareness is the first step in healing, and so that really was the beginning of my healing journey with money. So I share this story with you so that you can see that, number one, I'm not perfect. I'm not Moses on the mountain here. We are all here to learn and expand, and my healing journey is what birthed this ease process that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So the process begins with the learning to express and experience your emotions around money. Then, once you know how you feel, you accept where you are and appreciate the gifts in your experience. From there, you shift into faith, trust, and forgiveness, and then embrace new beliefs that serve and support you, and gather the evidence that you are indeed living in an abundant, supportive universe. I will share some exercises with you along the way that you can implement immediately to begin shifting your relationship with money. I'll take your questions throughout the webinar, and at the end, I will share ways you can go further in this work with me as a member of the Global Healing Exchange community. So, you're in the right place here if you're open and you're ready to finally change your money story. You are ready to do the work to facilitate your transformation. You're done being the victim and ready to assume responsibility for your own life, and you are ready to choose to think differently, speak differently, act differently, and overall be different so that you can live the abundant life that is waiting for you. So let's dive in. Express and experience your emotions. So, are you attracting or repelling money? The answer to this question is in your current experience. Do you have all the money you desire? If your money is flowing in abundance, then you are attracting money. If not, then on some level you are repelling money. If you're repelling, then you want to look at what you are vibrating when it comes to money, and to do that, you want to know your emotions around money. Why do we want to know this? Well, you can't change what you're not aware of. So by shining the light of awareness on your emotions around money, then you can see where your energy is focused. It's now exercise time. Ta-da! So, what are your emotions around money? I'm going to give you a free association exercise right now that you can do right this moment. So I want you all to take out a sheet of paper and write the word money in the center of the paper. And then just begin free associating. Write all the words, phrases that come to mind for you. Let this really be a mind dump. And as you're doing this, look at what feels good, what feels awful, what feels neutral, and notice, do you have more positive associations or more negative associations? Be honest with yourself. You cannot heal what you're not willing to look at, so be willing. Be curious. There's no judgment here. There's no right. There's no wrong. You're in curiosity mode. You're simply looking to discover what it is you truly feel and believe when it comes to money. So now that you have done this exercise, you want to ask yourself and look at what have you learned. Acknowledging how you feel is to begin the process of healing. So who would care to share what they've discovered? You can type in your answers, or if you have any questions, I will take some questions now. So Sharon, has anybody asked any questions yet? Or does anybody have anything they want to share? Anyone have anything they want to share?
Sorry, was I talking into a muted mic?
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So what I was going to say is I'm going to share what's come up for me, because I've been working with you for maybe a year now, or coming up for a year, and I had quite a few money blocks, and a lot of my friends would know this. And what's coming up now when I do this mind map, the words love, the words happy, the words freedom, the words travel, whereas beforehand I found money really heavy and the thought of money really heavy. And it's amazing, as I'm doing this process with you, how more abundance comes into my life, and not just in the form of money, but in all areas of my life. And it's just amazing how these really simple techniques really help manifest physical form. And I actually got a question here as well from Claire. She's saying that she's got mixed emotions. She's got opposing emotions surrounding money, and how can she combat that? So that's a question back to you.
Okay, well, that's awesome that you have that. So the awareness, like I said, that's the first key, to see what you have going on. You can't really create anything until you see what's going on. So knowing and acknowledging that you have these opposing forces is the first step, and seeing that it's there and just understanding it's, hey, okay, this is here. There's this love-hate relationship. It's what I talked about in the beginning too, this whole love-hate relationship. And we will talk about how we can shift that love-hate relationship as we go further. So if you want to bear with me for a few more minutes, Claire, there will be an answer to that question, okay? So let's actually move forward, because once you know how you feel, then we are on to, oh, wrong way, there we go. Accept where you are and appreciate the gifts. And I'm going to share with you now a blurb from the book Conversations with God, Part 1 by Neil Donald Walsh. So here we have this real ambivalence about money. Part of you rejects it, and part of you resents not having it. Now the universe doesn't know what to do about that, because the universe has received two different thoughts from you. So your life in regards to money is going in fits and starts because you keep going in fits and starts about money. And that kind of addresses a little bit about what Claire brought up with the opposing thoughts here. These are the fits and starts. On the one hand, you want it, and on the other hand, you don't want it. You're pushing it away. So when I read this, it really hit me hard, but it does make perfect sense, doesn't it? How can you expect abundance when you are vacillating back and forth? Now, this is not about judgment, but it's about knowing that you are where you are. There's no right, there's no wrong, it just is. So you have to make peace with what is before you can change it. So how do you make peace? You do so by uncovering the gifts of your current what is experience. What does the experience that you're now living hold for you? What are the gifts here? So here we have another exercise. Am I going in the right direction? Okay, yes. All right, this is going, okay, here we go. Okay, so to uncover the gifts your experience holds for you around money, I want you to ask yourself these following questions. So question number 1, and you can feel free to write your answers down for yourself as we're going here. What am I learning? What is the current experience that I'm living with? What is it teaching me? What is this experience keeping me from doing? What is this experience allowing me to do? Whom do I need to forgive, if anyone? And then, what are the gifts? Am I willing and able to accept these gifts into my experience? Am I willing and able to release the negative energy this experience holds for me? So again, going back to Claire's example of the tug and pull, once you've discovered the gifts, are you willing to release that tug-pull energy so that you can choose the energy you wish to focus more upon? And then make a declaration. Once you've taken yourself through that exercise and you decide that, yes, I'm willing to accept these gifts, and yes, I'm willing and able to release the negative charge, I choose to see this experience in this newfound positive light. I choose to release all negative associations and embrace the gifts of, and name all the gifts that this experience is giving you. So, for example, maybe if you're experiencing a lack right now in money, it's teaching you how to be more, frugal is not the word I want to use, but along those lines, more in choice about how you're spending your money, more conscious of how you're spending your money. That could be a gift. If you're experiencing, you know, that could be one of the gifts. If you're experiencing a lack that's you've found the awareness that, ooh, if I don't have money, then I don't have to stand in my power and I don't have to be seen. That's the gift that it has given you by showing you that, oh, there's a fear here that I need to work through, and I'm willing to work through this fear now. Does that make sense? Am I articulating that well for everyone? I hope. But you name all the gifts that this experience has provided for me, and then print out that declaration and put it in a spot prominent where you will see it every day and look at it, and then you can say, okay, it is what it is. I'm living what I'm living right now, but I and I alone have the power to change it. And the first step in changing it is changing how I feel about it. Because again, everything basically comes back to your choice as to how you're going to perceive something. And that's basically, according to A Course in Miracles, what the definition of a miracle is. A miracle is a shift in perception. So you want to have this miracle around money by shifting your perception of your relationship with money. So, what have you learned? Acknowledging the gifts in your experience diffuses the negative charge, which enables you to be at peace with what is. So who would care to share what they've discovered? And you can, again, can type in your answers, and if you have any questions, I'll take some now. My phone is ringing, so excuse me 1 minute so I can silence it and it doesn't come out on the recording here.
Okay, are you there, Elaine? I've got a question here from Julie. I'm just making sure that Elaine can hear.
Yes, I can hear you now, and I'm back, and I apologize for that. That's the one thing I didn't think of, was to turn the dang phone off.
No problem, no problems. It's all a bit relaxed in here. So,
Yeah.
question from Julie. She's saying that she's got money in areas of her life and not in others. And she's having a problem in relation to receiving body work. And it seems to be that her main block is regarding guilt, regarding spending money on her own learning, on her own journey. So what I get from that is she's okay, she's getting money coming in, but she's got a block in looking after herself and nurturing herself.
And that is all around self-worth, and that is definitely a little bit deeper than what this program is designed for. But yes, one of the shifts in perception I would offer to you, Julie, is you are your most valuable asset. So if you're not taking care of you, how can you have anything to give to anyone else or to anything else? So if you're willing to invest in good food for your family, or whatever else it is that you're investing in, you are just as important, if not more so, to invest in, so that you are fully standing in your power and expressing your full goddess self. So again, like I said, it goes back to this whole self-worth thing, which is beyond the scope of this, but definitely part of the work that I do. So that's something we can explore together at a later date, Julie, if you're interested. So awesome, awesome question, and I hope that that little shift there is helpful to you.
Okay, before that was me perceiving the question wrong. She's meaning receiving money in her practice of bodywork. So she's a body worker, so okay, money's coming in, but she's having a block regarding getting money into her business.
Okay. Okay, and so the business is bodywork?
Yes.
Okay. So she's having difficulty receiving funds for the work that she does?
Yes, exactly that.
Okay. I would actually like to hear a little more about that, if she does not mind sharing a little more around that. What specifically is she having difficulty around? Why does she sense, if she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and tunes in, what does she sense is the issue around allowing herself to receive?
Julie, if you'd like to type a little bit of more about that in, and we'll just take another question here while you're doing that to give you a bit of time if you like. Um, so the other question is from Claire. She's got a problem with the confidence to spend money. So it's not about the lack of money, but it's about the confidence to spend money.
Okay.
And yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, I was going to say, ask Joy, tell me a little bit more around the confidence to spend money. What does that mean for Claire?
Okay, ladies, if you can get typing, that'd be great.
Not so black and white, is it?
Okay, so I've got a couple of messages from Julie here. She's saying donations of students of, so she's getting donations as a student of craniosacral therapy. The clients are not coming as much lately, but it's more to do with trust in my ability to do the work that she feels. Okay, so she's answering her own question here. Perhaps self-worth is part of that.
Yeah. Yes, I would say a resounding sense of yes with that, and that's actually something that I can resonate with from my own experience. It's that whole not good enoughness. You know, perhaps if I get this one more degree, then I'll feel qualified, or, you know, am I really doing this right? Are they really going to pay for what I have to offer? And the answer is yes, a resounding yes. Because I come from the law of attraction perspective, and one of also the universal laws that comes into play here is the law of polarity. And you cannot have a desire without having the means to bring that desire into fruition as well. So therefore, you are feeling called to offer body work because you have this desire, this calling, this urge within you to do this. Then you have a sacred contract with clients that are waiting for you. Surely, yes, there are other bodywork practitioners out there, and there are other cranial sacral practitioners out there, but there are clients out there that have a sacred contract with you and you alone to do the work. So, yes, you do know what you need to know. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. It's that willingness to really know that you have a clientele out there that is waiting for you, but they're not going to know you're there if you don't let them know you're there. So you have to be willing to market yourself to let them know you're there. And that goes into that's a whole marketing thing too, which it goes a little, again, beyond the scope of what's being offered here. But yeah, that does tie into the self-worth and to understanding that you are an expression of God. You are the divine in expression, in physical expression. So you have the innate right to all good that life has to offer. And if part of what you're offering is being in business as a body worker, then not only do you have the right to offer that work, but you have the right to be paid well for it as well. Does that make sense?
It totally does for me. And I know as a therapist myself, you know, I've been doing manual therapy for 18 years, and it took me a very long time to know that I was really good. And as soon as I knew that I was really good, I would attract those clients. And my clients love me, and they always book. I don't actually market anymore. It's all word of mouth. But it's about being in that energy of being a good therapist, being that person that you really want to be, because when you're that person that you really want to be, people get that, and they get that you're strong and you're confident, and they are attracted to your energy. So you know, everything takes practice, and what I've learned, you know, with you as well, Elaine, is rather than just saying the affirmations, you really need to embody those affirmations and believe. And it's the same when you're looking at empowering yourself, whether it's with money or whether it's having that self-worth to be able to spend the money. It's about really feeling that worthiness inside of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's knowing. It's that knowing. And that does take a little time, and it takes a little playing with those affirmations, because, you know, sometimes those affirmations, they feel inauthentic at first. But the more you say them and the more you can get that feeling behind them, that's creating the neural pathways in the brain that starts to embed them as beliefs. And that's what a belief is. A belief is just a thought that we keep thinking, whether it was our own thought or whether it was a thought that was given to us from our family, from society, from our spiritual house, from our friends, wherever it came from. That's all our beliefs are. They're thoughts that we thought habitually. So now we want to replace those old habitual thoughts that limit us and don't serve us with new thoughts that expand and empower us.
Beautiful, thank you. Now we've got another question here. Do we have time, or should I bring it later on?
No, let's do one more.
Okay, so this is from Karen. She said, what is your story? How did you find peace with your limited beliefs around money? What did you have to think and believe so that you could turn it around?
Karen, it is an ongoing process. It is like peeling back the layers of an onion. This is not something that you lick and never have to ever revisit. I know that every time I have up-leveled in my business, there's been a whole new layer of crap that's come to the surface that I've had to look at and peel away. For me, it has really been about truly looking for, recording, and really acknowledging that evidence that I am supported, that I am living in a supportive universe, that I can manifest what I need and when I need it. And it's, you know, it's really showing gratitude. Gratitude is a huge energy around money for me. That's been part of my journey anyway, in my experience, is really acknowledging even the little things like finding a penny. I know that may sound stupid, but I mean, I'll pull 7 cents out of the washing machine and I'll do a little happy dance in the laundry room because I found 7 cents in the washing machine. And it's just, you know, acknowledging all the little things and showing gratitude for it that opens that door for more to come. It's like, again, what you appreciate appreciates. So as you appreciate what you have, you're opening the door for more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it so does. Karen's asking to be let into one of your epiphanies. Now, I can tell her one of mine actually, if you like, because I actually know Karen. If this is the Karen that I know, and she knows that I've had stuff going around this. And one of my epiphanies was I didn't actually have that many money blocks. You know, I had a period of my time where money wasn't coming, but it was all a worthy issue. And this is why I can talk about it to the other girls as well, because I've always been somebody who would give to other people more than myself, and you know, I've built a beautiful community of people, but I always put them first. And I was practicing that energy for so long of giving that I actually forgot to take. And even though I've had business for years doing massage, that was always you know, really, really lucrative. I had my own home, you know, 3-bedroom house. It was fantastic. So there wasn't necessarily the money blocks because I used to have that. But I got into the practice of not having, and it's about changing your mind. And what I didn't have to do was change about my money. It was changing my worthiness issues. So I think there's, as you were saying, Elaine, there's lots and lots of layers, and it's all individual for all of us.
Yes, it is. And Karen, I guess you must have come on a little late to the webinar, because when I shared my story, I did share one of the huge money epiphanies for me, and that was when my mentor said to me to consider my money like my lover. And was I giving my money the kind of loving attention I would give a lover? And if I wasn't, then coming from that perspective, would I expect my lover to stay with me or want to be with me? And I know it was a little different way of looking at it, but it was actually kind of huge, because I had been the one who was responsible for looking at the money all the time, but I hated the job. I hated looking at it. So it was like, here you are, I'm supposed to like you, but I really don't even want to look at you, but yes, I want to have you around so I can spend you. So, I mean, if you were treating your boyfriend, lover, husband, spouse that way, would they want to stick around? Well, no, they wouldn't, because it's not a loving give and take and fluid relationship. It was come to me, no, go away. Come to me, no, go away. So that was a huge epiphany for me around money, was in how I was relating myself to it and how I was feeling about my job of relating myself to it. Because prior to that, I had remarried after my first husband had passed, and my new husband was the one who was looking at all the finances. So, and since he was doing that job, I was like, okay, you do it, I'm not doing it. And I just stopped looking altogether. So it was like money was like, huh, okay, well, she obviously doesn't want to be with me, so I'm not going to be with her. Does that help give you an
Yes,
idea of...
everyone's saying thank you, thank you, thank you. You answered the questions.
Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to shift into faith, trust, and forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is an important aspect of any transformative experience. You are releasing yourself and taking back your own power when you forgive. There is this huge misconception around forgiveness. Forgiveness is, people think forgiveness is about condoning an act or behavior, and that's not really what it's about. Because when we carry grudges, when we hold on to resentments, when we hold on to anger, we have basically locked ourselves in a prison, in a self-imposed prison, no less, because we're harboring that issue. So forgiveness is about releasing us from the power that that issue or person held over us. So like I said, it's not about condoning poor behavior or any perceived wrongdoing. Forgiveness work is about releasing yourself from that self-imposed jail cell that you've entrapped yourself within because you continue to carry that grudge or see yourself as a victim. So, whom do you need to forgive? Perhaps that other exercise we just did, maybe that illuminated something or someone for you. If not, perhaps you need to forgive the energy of money itself. So the faith and trust muscles are to be exercised. Let's try this again. Faith and trust muscles are to be exercised, and there are principles for prosperity and abundance that help to build those muscles. John Randolph Price talks about them in his Abundance book and his 40-day prosperity plan. I come from a Unity Church background, and they also have their version of abundance prosperity principles. And the principles are actually the same, just languaged differently. So what I'm going to share with you are the 10 Unity prosperity principles. So the 10 Unity prosperity principles are: number 1, recognize God as the source. Number 2, feel worthy of being prosperous. Number 3, prosperity is a state of mind. Number 4, create a vacuum for prosperity. Number 5, open your heart to prosperity. Number 6, what you focus on expands. Number 7, as you give, so shall you receive. Number 8, move confidently towards your heart's desire. Number 9, keep on keeping on. And number 10, let go and let God. Faith and trust is visionary. What must be remembered is that everything seen first begins in the unseen. So as you work with these principles, they allow you to open your heart and your mind to the possibilities. So we're going to embark on 2 exercises here. And this first exercise is around forgiveness. One of my favorite exercises for forgiveness is Ho'oponopono. It's an ancient process that originated in Hawaii, but the basic tenet is that you are accepting responsibility for your part in the play. so that you can release yourself from the emotional hold. And there are 4 phrases that are involved, and they are, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I've seen these statements in various orders, so feel free to play around to find what feels best to you. My approach is a little different in that I hold the image of the other person in my mind's eye, and in addition to the above statements, I have added a little flavor. So, of course, the first one is I love you. So, for example, if I were holding an image of my sister in my mind and I needed to forgive her for something or forgive myself for something, I'd hold an image of myself in my mind. I love you. I'm sorry for giving my power in this situation to you. Please forgive me for holding you responsible for how I feel. And then thank you for being my mirror. And I repeat this as many times as necessary until I feel an energetic shift. So that is my version, if you will, of the Ho'oponopono process. And now I'm going to share with you how I have been working with the 10 Unity Principles in kind of a similar way to the 40-day prosperity plan. So the object is to work with the Unity Principles for a minimum of 30 days, or like I said, 40 is better. You work with one principle each day. And in your journal, you write out the principle. So, for example, the first principle is that recognize God as the source. So you would write down that first principle, recognize God as the source. Then write in your own words what that statement means to you. So to me, that means that Spirit, God, or whatever language speaks to you is the source of my supply. All things come from God. So your meaning may be similar to mine, or it may be completely different. But when you put the principles into your own words, you are solidifying its meaning for you in your mind and heart. And your heart will let you know if your interpretation of the principle is true for you by how you feel. So if you're interpreting a principle and it doesn't feel good to you, then you're not interpreting it the way Spirit wishes you to interpret it, the way your soul, your inner goddess, your higher self wishes you to see it. So then just keep playing with it until you find the interpretation that feels good to you, that gives you whatever that sensation is for you. Oh, wrong way. Come on, I'm going back. There we go. Okay. Okay, this is really weird. Bear with me, people. Okay. This is like doing all kinds of funky things here. Hang on a second. Ah, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, go to one. Okay, so we're back here. So, practicing forgiveness, faith, and trust allows you to feel safe, supported, and grounded in well-being. When you can truly begin to know that the universe has your back, you can begin asking, how can I? Which will keep your heart and mind open to possibilities. So, who would care to share what they've discovered so far? Again, you can type in your responses or ask any questions that you may have right now. We'll open up a little bit for some more questions. And I apologize, this is my first webinar, so I'm really kind of figuring everything out. So thank you all for bearing with me as I play with this.
You're doing really, really well. You know, there's always technical problems, or generally technical problems. So we're doing really well considering. I'm just getting lots of people saying that they're really loving what you're saying, and you've got great ideas. So there no questions at this point, but we're all following you.
Okay, awesome. Then let's move right along here and go to embrace the new beliefs and gather the evidence. So as we've been going along, I'm sure that you have uncovered some beliefs and feelings around money that are not serving and supporting the abundant mindset that you desire to hold. So now it's time to begin shifting those beliefs to ones that do serve and support you. And we just touched on this a little bit briefly before, but one of the best ways to accomplish this is through the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you practice every day, several times throughout the day, to embed your new and empowering beliefs. And as I shared before too, it may feel as though you are trying to fool yourself, but the more you state them with the accompanying positive energy, energy in motion, you begin to build the new neural pathways that will transform those statements into beliefs. After all, according to Abraham, as channeled by Esther Hicks, a belief is nothing more than a habitual thought. It's a thought you keep thinking. So in addition to creating the positive and empowering beliefs around money that will serve and support you, it's also helpful to begin a gratitude practice as a way of collecting the evidence that you are, in fact, living in a supportive universe. So, what blessings of abundance are already in your life, and why are you grateful for them? So for all of the beliefs that you have identified that need to be shifted, create your new powerful affirmations. So for example, if you identified that money is not spiritual as one of your limiting beliefs, you can choose to state, money is energy, and all energy is of God. Therefore, money is spiritual. Make sure that the statements that you do create feel good to you, even if you begin them by stating, I am willing to consider the possibility that. So, for example, one of the statements that I have been working with lately is, I have the coaching practice, and sometimes I, being totally visible and vulnerable, have difficulty enrolling new clients into my coaching programs. And it was becoming a very big frustration for me. So one of the affirmations that I had to work with was to transform this belief that it was so difficult and a struggle to enroll clients to one that served and supported me, which is, it is really easy and fun to enroll clients into my coaching practice. And going from, this is really hard to this is really easy was too huge of a jump for me in the beginning. So I had to start with, I am willing to consider the possibility that it could be easy. And I worked with that for a few weeks. And then I would transition into, okay, I'm willing to believe that it can be. So instead of just the possibility of, I'm willing to believe that it can be. And I kept working with that. And it took about maybe 3 solid weeks of working with the various, incarnations of this affirmation until I was able to get to a point of saying it is really easy and fun, and fully believe it and have my full energy behind it, say it with a smile on my face and mean it. So that is the practice I am trying to impart upon you, is to, you can't go from what you currently believe to the opposite in one fell swoop. So you can work on it in increments to get you to the place where, okay, I believe that it's possible. I believe that it could. Okay, yes, actually it can. And do you know, gosh darn it, when I started saying I believe it is easy, it was easy. I started enrolling clients right away, easily. So this process does work if you stick with it and you get your emotion and your energy behind it, because everything is energy, ladies. Everything is energy. And you have to have it in the, as I said before, in the unseen before it shows itself in the physical manifestation. And it all starts with how you're feeling. It all starts around the emotions. So now on to the gratitude practice. Your gratitude practice will be to write 10 items in your journal that you are grateful for and why you are grateful for them. So, for example, I am grateful for my wonderful husband because he is such a valuable source of support and joy to me. So this also serves the purpose of putting you into a very feel-good vibration. So as you make this a daily practice, I do mine every morning, and generally I think it's a good way to start the day, but if the daytime doesn't work for you, an evening would be better. Whatever it's going to be that puts you into that high vibration energy, because of course when you are vibrating higher, then you are open to all the good that is waiting to come to you, that you have put into your escrow account, if you will, that's waiting there for you, because of course you all know when you ask, it is given. So what you want to create, what you want to bring in, that abundance that you want to have in your life is there waiting for you. Your job is to line up with it, and that's what these exercises are designed to do. They are designed to help you to line up with what you have already amassed and what you are currently amassing. So the more you play with your affirmations, the stronger your new beliefs become. The more you practice gratitude, the more evidence you gather, which builds those faith and trust muscles as well. So anybody care to share anything, or do you have any questions? I am opening up to take them now as we're getting towards the end of this webinar here. So anybody have any other questions they would like to ask?
People are saying at the moment that they're really they're loving the idea of you saying that I am willing to, because there are also people saying they don't believe that just by saying something, saying an affirmation, it's going to change. But I think a lot of people are seeing the fact that it's something that you take baby steps with. It's something that you practice on a daily basis until you really feel it.
Yes.
And because you're not going to just switch from one day to hating money and to loving the next. It is a journey.
Right.
And
or to believing that something is difficult and then, okay, yes, it's easy. Boom, it's easy. No, there are teachers of affirmations that will tell you to just say them whether you believe them or not, and you're going to the fake it till you make it kind of a deal. That never sat well with me, simply because I've never been a fake it till you make it kind of a gal. But I understand the concept of the neural pathways, having that psychological training and background in, as the clinical hypnotherapist and psychology minor in college. So I understand the concept of the neural pathways, which is what the affirmations are designed to do. But you have to say them in a way that has meaning for you, that you can really get your belief around. So that's why I love the statement, I'm willing to consider the possibility that. Because when you say you're willing to consider the possibility, you're opening yourself up to the possibility. And anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah. And I think, if you look at money the way that you would look at any other goal in your life, so many people try to fix their health, fix their money, fix their relationship, all at the same time. And what I've found is I take one thing at a time and master that. Because we as humans, we just try to be perfect all of the time. And I think it's really, really important to give ourselves a break and just really, really focus on the things that we really want to focus on, knowing that we're not perfect. And I think, if you put all of your energy into changing this thing that you want, you will get there a lot faster than if you're trying to put your energy into 15 things and changing them at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. It does make perfect sense. And, Sharon, you know me, and I'm very heavily Abraham influenced. And one of the basic tenets is just choosing to be happy. When you choose to live a happy life, to see things from a positive perspective, to be in the energy of joy and gratitude, you are vibrating where you want to be vibrating, to allow everything that you're creating to come into your experience. So it's making that choice that nothing is more important than that you feel good. And when you feel good, everything flows. Everything is easier. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have trials and tribulations and challenges, but you're coming at it from a different perspective when you can look at it through that positive lens and say, okay, this is happening. It kind of sucks, but what is this meant to teach me?
Mm-hmm.
What can I learn from this? So that way you can make peace with it so that you can start to focus more on the positive. Because you can't bring anything new that you want when you're pounding or beating the drum of what's going on. So if you're struggling with, I can't afford this, I can't afford this, I don't have the money, I never have enough money, more money's not going to come to you if that's the story that you continue to tell yourself. So you've got to start telling a new story. And the way you start telling that new story is by looking at what is, finding the gifts in it so that you can make peace with it. Look at everything that's in your life that you have to be grateful for. Even if it's nothing more than, oh my God, I've got this body and I can breathe and I can walk. I can move my feet. I can dance if I want to. Oh, look, the sun is shining today. What a beautiful day. Or, oh, wonderful, how wonderful the ocean is. It's right near me. I can walk on the beach. I mean, the little things that we can take for granted, if we can just start to look at them and say, wow, I mean, how awesome is this that this is in my life? And I love the fact that I have feet that I can walk, run, and dance with. I love the fact that I have a belly that I can manipulate when I belly dance. Yeah, I mean, the little things that we don't necessarily think of or we take for granted. If we can just start opening to that energy of gratitude, that is going to change our lives, our relationship with money, our relationship with our bodies, with everything in life that we want to create for ourselves. That's really what it comes down to.
Totally, thank you. And we're getting some comments coming in here as well now. Simone Louise brought up a really valid point. The word saying the words "I am willing to" brings you back up the emotional guidance scale as well. So it shows, you know, rather than being in that stuck energy of saying something in an energy that doesn't really resonate with you, if you're saying the words "I am willing to," it brings you up. It brings you up to, you know, the emotion of possibility, which is, I think, very, very important when we're trying to change our beliefs in any area of our life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very definitely. So as we bring our time together here to a close, I just want to share with you all that what we've covered here today really is only the tip of the iceberg in shifting your relationship with money and creating the abundance mindset. So if you're finding yourself still wondering how all of this will possibly work for you, then I have an offer you don't want to miss. As you know, this webinar is being given to demonstrate the benefits of membership in the Global Healing Exchange Facebook community. As a member of this exclusive community within Facebook, you're given access to experts, including myself, where we openly share with the community. In addition, as members of Global Healing Exchange, the experts offer special promotions to the Global Healing Exchange membership. So, for a limited time only, and this is only going to be good until Friday, July 11th, midnight Eastern Time, members of the Global Healing Exchange Facebook community will have the opportunity to book a complimentary discovery session with me where we will explore your beliefs around money, uncover what is standing in your way, and how that is keeping you from expressing your full divine self and some possible next steps. However, you have to be a paid member of the GHE community, so I'll turn it all over to Sharon now so that she can explain the benefits of paid membership to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Elaine. It was a really, really great webinar, and I'm really happy to have you on board as one of our experts. You've really have so much knowledge, and you've helped me personally with so many issues, and especially with any money blocks and worthy blocks that I've had myself. What I want to talk about briefly is our wellness packages, which obviously you're part of. And I wanted the community to experience what different therapies were like and how they could help them on a personal level without having to go and spend thousands of dollars to try and find the correct therapist for them. They can sort of have a little taster. It's like a smorgasbord, and you can pick and taste what you like. You won't be able to see very well on the screen here, but on our website you'll see it a bit more clearly. So for only $49, $99, or $129, you get tips from our top experts. So Elaine is one of them. Elaine, it's a video, 3 videos that they get from you about abundance, isn't it, in our package there?
Yes, yes. It's not videos, it's a PDF, but yes.
Video, sorry. But we have meditations and ebooks and videos and sound healings and MP3s in these packages where you can get a taster. So for the 129 one, I think you get 17 therapists where you can get to experience the modality that they use, but also get to know who our experts are. And these experts, I've worked with them personally, most of them, or if I haven't worked with them personally, I know them. Like, I've had a lot of therapy over the years, and these are my top picks, and they're just amazing. So you can pick one of those. You can also go to our website and look under wellness packages for that. If you go to our membership tag, you can also read about our experts and buy the packages. Also, we have an offer, and it's a one-time payment of only $10, and it will be being turned into a membership, a monthly membership. So it's a really good offer right now, where you can pay $10 to be a member of the community, and you get money off. So all of the offers that the experts will be giving on the webinars, you get percentage off or free gifts. And also we have a closed Facebook group where there's a community going on there where we can get to talk more, and you can ask questions, and there's different therapists in there. And if you're a therapist, you can go in there and find people that are looking for you. So for only $10, it's really good, a great place to network and find different therapists and ask questions. So if you're really interested, you can email me, sharon@globalhealingexchange.com, and I can send you to the place where you need to go, or go and have a look on our website under membership, and it will tell you that, or under the wellness package. And also, remember, you can go and see Elaine personally. She is amazing. She's been working with me for a long time, and I have so much clarity on where I need to go now, and getting rid of my beliefs. So if anyone has any questions, some last questions from either of us, that would be great. We can take a couple now if you like. And just see, is that clear? Because I know I ramble sometimes. Did that make sense? Pardon?
I said you sounded clear to me.
Okay, beautiful, thank you. Okay, so it doesn't. I've got lots of people saying thank you. You've given lots of golden nuggets. They're really loving what you do. They're asking where you are. So you're in America somewhere, aren't you? Or is it Canada?
Yes, I am actually in Pennsylvania. I am speaking to you from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Don't know if any of you will know where that is, but if you have any idea of where Hershey, Pennsylvania is, that's where I am. And yes, you can sometimes smell the chocolate in the air.
Okay, so that's another great thing to say. We have sessions over Skype. We've actually never met personally, but we were meeting weekly for a little while, and now we meet fortnightly over Skype. And so anybody on this webinar can see you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in a physical room to work with them.
Not an issue. No.
So Elaine, people are asking, how do they get in touch with you?
If they want to get in touch with me directly, they can email me at elaine@abalonianmoon.com, and let me spell that for you. It's ABALONIANMOON.com. And of course, They can always reach me through the Global Healing Exchange Facebook community as well, should they opt to join that community. And I just want to say for myself, I know that some of the other experts, there's a health and wellness coach in there as well, and I know part of what I'm offering in that group is you know, kind of a little bit of e-coaching as a member of the group, so you get to ask us questions and we will provide answers for you to the best of our ability, of course, within the scope of that community as well. You can reach me on my website at www.avalonianmoon.com. I also have a Facebook page. You can find me there. Avalonian Moon is the name of my Facebook page, or just Elaine Torrance Gingrich. Personally, you can find me there as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for being here. It was an amazing first webinar. I'm really excited to do more with my experts, and I'm really love to ask you back and do some more, because of the feedback that we've got here already. People are loving you, Elaine, so that's great. So I think we'll be doing more webinars. I will definitely be doing more, but I hope you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. This was a lot of fun. This was my first real webinar experience, so I apologize for some of the technical glitches as I work with the technology, because I'm not really very technology minded. But this was a lot of fun to do, and I appreciate so much the opportunity to do it in this loving, gentle environment that you have created here, Sharon. It really is just really in alignment, and I'm really glad this was my first experience.
Thank you. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to wrap up today, and we'll see you all on the next webinar, I hope. And if you do have any questions, please email either of us, and we'll help you as much as we can. Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure.
They're saying more, more, more. We'll do another one, I promise. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the feedback. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.